Who's introing this,
This
Chris?
bitch.
Oh, Ames. Oh, shit.
Don't worry. I got a fairly short bullet list because I'm skipping a lot.
Is it a bullet time list?
Hey!
Oh.
Clever. Hello and welcome. It is yet another episode of A Star to Steer Her By, and we're here continuing on with our shore leave of just a whole bunch of Keanu Reeves sci-fi movies. We're calling the Keanussance.
Woo!
We love it. This week we are wrapping the original Matrix trilogy with Matrix Revolutions. What's Neo gonna do? Who's number one? You're number 6. Let me hail you guys. Oh, actually, first, before I forget, after however many episodes we've been doing this bullshit, you know that I am Ames. Caitlin's not here.
Oh, I am Jake.
This is Chris, as possessed by Hugo Weaving.
I'm James.
Hey,
Jimmy Jim,
James
Jim,
here.
Jim.
You're no Ian Bliss, Chris. Ian Bliss does a great fucking Smith.
I was
right?
really impressed by that.
That was spot on. I will say that.
Good on that
I maybe
guy.
shouldn't have whipped out my deeply mediocre Hugo Weaving impression in this fucking movie, but, you know.
I'm almost wondering if they asked Hugo Weaving to, like, perform vocally those lines so that he could, like, work off of them.
I kind of wondered that, too.
Yeah,
but what the hell? What are we talking about, Ames?
Yeah. From what I understand, they specifically cast Ian Bliss for his Hugo Weaving impression.
There we go.
So, good on him. I liked him a lot. Let me tell you about Matrix Revolutions, because we're picking up where we left off 6 months ago, when number 2 was released. So, same year Revolutions comes out. Neo's in a coma/subway station, same difference, where he meets some programs who want to get their daughter out of the Matrix. But the train man is Bruce Spence, so you know things are going to be fucking weird. He's from Mad Max, for those of you following
He's the
along
crazy
at home.
helicopter
Oh my
pilot.
gosh! Oh, I was wondering why he was familiar.
Yeah, why he's just the craziest looking man. That's
actually just how he showed up.
Yeah, he's like, I flew in on my gyrocopter. Okay, Bruce.
Why do you have so many watches? I just do.
Meanwhile, Seraph, Morpheus, and Trinity make this gunpoint deal with the Merovingian to go pick up Neo at the train station. So that solves that. Easy peasy. So Neo goes and visits the Oracle, who can't fucking stop talking about how she's played by a different actress in this movie. For some reason, she can't stop saying that. But she does tell us that Smith is ruining everything. Neo, go fix it. Speaking of, after Neo leaves to go fix it, a whole bunch of Smiths show up, assimilate the Oracle, and Seraph, and that little girl from the first scene who can't fucking act.
She cannot.
No, she was not great.
Nope.
Took me out of every scene she was in.
Yep.
I always feel bad for literal child actors.
I
'Cause
know.
You never know.
It's so hard because so many times you can literally tell, like, the director just fed you these lines. Now you're delivering the lines. Cool. Meanwhile, Bane, who we all remember is possessed by one of the Smiths, has woken up on the Hammer or Mjolnir. I've heard references to it having different names. I forget which one is actually said in the movie.
One of them.
I remember Hammer.
Okay,
They said hammer.
Let's say Hammer then.
Mjolnir is a type of hammer, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bane kills a bitch and hides out on the Logos, which Neo and Trinity have decided to take for their road trip to Machine City for the weekend. Woo. They make a quick pit stop to kill Bane after he blinds Neo quite horribly, and they drive on to Machine Land, where Neo uses his special aura sight power thing to navigate for Trinity, until she crash lands and dies anyway. Bye, Trinity. Miss you.
Womp womp.
Whoopsie. So Neo
Whoopsie.
goes, and he talks to a baby's face made of drones.
I am so glad that you also thought it looked like
It
a baby.
specifically
It was a
meant to look like a
baby.
baby's face.
Oh, okay.
It was designed,
All right.
I think I read after one or both of the Wachowskis' nibblings, or like a family relative, somebody. But it is specifically a baby face.
Since they're siblings, I guess it is by default both of their something.
It was the note I read was unclear because it specifically said only one of the Wachowskis nibbling, and it's like, why not
it
both?
could be through marriage.
Yeah. I was maybe it's one of their nibblings and the other one's child.
I don't know if there's other siblings in that family, so I'm not gonna guess. Anyway,
it was Lawrence Luckinbill's clone.
Anyway, the baby's face made of drones is named Deus Ex Machina, for those of you following along at home. And it makes a deal with Neo that Neo will go kill the head smith if they promise to stop attacking Zion, because, side note, Zion's been under attack for the most of the movie, but I'm not going to bother synopsizing that because it all becomes moot in the end anyway. So, Neo plugs in, and he and Smith fight in the rain for a while until gas.
For a long time.
Listen, they deserve it. Smith is so hot in this fight. I'm into him. Smith assimilates Neo. Oh gosh! But actually, it turns out that it's good because it's just what Neo wanted to happen, or the Oracle wanted to happen, or Babyface wanted to happen. Because the baby head thing who's plugged in kills all the Smiths. Hooray!
Yay!
So in the end, the day is saved. All of our beloved characters from Zion survive, except for the couple of them who died. Presumably Neo is dead? Question marks?
Neo and Trinity seem pretty dead.
And the Matrix reboots. The end!
Hooray!
Yay. Yeah, man.
So,
fucking hell.
Yeah, like... holy shit. Like I said, I for those you heard last week, you know, I had expected to dislike 2 more, and by the end was like, hey, you know, it's kind of okay. This clearly is why I remembered thinking these sequels were garbage, because this movie is bad.
I wouldn't say bad.
This is
Not
also
bad.
So I was supposed to be on last week. I don't know if you had mentioned that.
We hinted pretty obviously, and I'm sure listeners at home guessed something happened to Rossi.
But like, I remember being so down on 2. We might talk about it later, maybe, but like, I was so down on 2, and I remember just really kind of not being into any of it after seeing it in the theaters. But after watching the third one, I came out of that one actually being like, hey, there was some stuff in this movie I liked. Unlike the second one, where I didn't really like anything that happened.
I think...
And so I enjoyed this movie a lot more than the second one.
Really? What about on a rewatch? Did any of your feelings change on the rewatch?
I mean, that was my feelings. Like, I remember being exhausted after the third movie in theaters, but watching it at home, like, this time, like, I just remember being like, hey, some of these action scenes are going on a little too long, but they're fun.
Yeah, they fight on the ceiling. That's new.
I have kind of the same take, though. Because I talked about this last week, that after having, like, the original Matrix being, at the time, one of my favorite movies, and being so excited for the sequel.
It made your top 5 sci-fi movies list.
It did.
Links below.
It's very strongly good movie. You know, and I was excited for the sequel, the Reloaded, and then I went and saw the Reloaded in the theater, and I was so nonplussed. I did not see this movie, Revolution, for years. Like a decade or more.
Yeah, and this came out just 6 months after.
Yeah,
2.
I was just so put off by Reloaded that I just didn't give enough of a shit to come and see this. And honestly, I have the same thought now as I had when I first watched this, which is, what?
So, for me, I will say that, you know, like I said, I ended last week a little less down on 2 than I had started at. And having now rewatched 3, I am even less down on 2. Because I realized for me, the huge problem is, like, 2 at least. Yeah, the action sequences are maybe a few too many and a few too long. But at its core, it's still
Burly brawl for days.
At its core, it's still mostly just people fighting in wonderfully choreographed, like, ridiculous martial arts battles. This movie is 90%. Here's the problem with this movie. This movie, and I mean this as an insult, feels very modern in that it is 90% a big CG dust up. where you can't follow anything. And with a modern CG dust-up movie, they at least occasionally cut to a character you care about to remind you that, yeah, somewhere among this green screen or this volume or this whatever, there is Chris Evans and his delightful ass. Or, you know,
From
someone
what
else
movie
you
is
can't...
that?
The Avengers.
Oh, you want to see his ass?
In spandex. You never see it bare.
Ah, okay.
But, like, you know, you do cut to these characters every so often. I was like, all right, I am sort of invested because there was a 3-second shot of a flesh and blood human being, now back to the endless CG. The problem with this movie is in the middle of the endless CG, we're cutting to annoying boy from the last movie no one liked.
I do hate that boy.
Oh, he was fine in this one for the most part.
He's fine, but he's not someone...
You never
I don't
feel
care about him. I do not care about him. I do not care about Z.
No.
I do not care about Colonel What's-His-Name, who clearly should have been the general guy. Like, he has a moment where he's giving a rousing speech to his men in their stupid mech... Well, no, they're fine mech suits, but I'm just mad at them. Where he's like, you all know me. And I'm like, we don't. We in the audience just met you. You have had 4 lines. Like,
and you've been antagonistic to the characters we like. Are we meant to like you?
Like the only... Well, no, he's been antagonistic to that kid that we're also not invested in.
Yeah, I don't care for the kid. Do we even learn the kid's name?
Probably. I think they said it last film. I've already forgotten.
I don't believe you.
That should have been the general guy. Because at least we know him, you know? Like...
Yeah, that definitely would have worked better. They're almost the same character in a lot of ways.
Exactly. It's almost
I will say, I liked the captain. I thought he was fun. I liked he builds up this rousing speech, and he's just like, you know, he's just like, you know who I am. Let's just fuck him up. All right, let's go.
That's
and that's it. Like he cuts it short.
Yeah, and like that's fine, but the problem is like I don't know him, so having him supposed to be the like flesh and blood linchpin of all this.
Annoyingly, I'm confused. I have no idea which character you're talking about as which, because I only know like one of their names.
Well, there was like the leader guy who was kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
The one who didn't like Morpheus.
Doesn't like Morpheus.
We know his name.
One who was with
find his name.
Shoot, what's her name?
Niobe.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I don't mean him. I mean the guy that led the mech corps.
Yeah,
Mifune.
He was the captain.
I feel like we saw him in 2.
If we did, I forgot
wasn't
already.
He the one that like greeted them when they got there? Like,
oh, in the mech suit?
No.
Damn
when
it.
they first, I want to say, and I could be mixing this up, but when they first arrived at Zion in 2, they landed and they talked to somebody.
No, I think that was the commander guy, wasn't it? The head bitchy general man?
No,
he was with like 3 other people though, so he could have been there too.
They were different. They were. I don't think that was the.
I've already
General
forgotten.
Dickhead. I think that was somebody else.
Maybe, but yeah, I like
I guess
again
I could
like
check to see the IMDb here. And see who's
but
what.
it's like most of the film was this big CG dust up that kept cutting to people I had no emotional investment in. You know, like at least with the second one, like yeah, I care about Neo, I care about Trinity, I care about Morpheus. It feels like those 3 are barely in this movie.
No, they're in the movie more than you think they are.
No, that's what I mean. I realize that, but it because the big CG fight in Zion is so needlessly long, it in my memory lives as a much larger part of the film than it really was.
It's also a bit of sensory overload where there's a lot happening then, and then we'll switch to like a quiet scene of Trinity dying. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's so bad. And also, like, what's funny is the film, like, yeah, in the real world, it was 6 months later. All this time has passed. But in the world of the film, these 2 movies are like a day.
They originally meant to release it just weeks after the second film came out. Which I don't know if that would even feasibly have worked, because then they'd be kind of overlapped in theaters.
Lapping, yeah. People would definitely have accidentally gone to the wrong one first. But
Yeah,
like,
so
when Trinity's like, you brought me back once, it's like, yeah, like 3 hours ago at most. Like the film forgets its own chronology, which is also off-putting.
Yeah, so just clear this up. The dickhead guy
Yes.
is Locke.
Locke,
His name
okay.
is Locke.
I literally never knew his name.
Commander Locke. The cool guy, the mech suit guy.
Is that Mifune?
Captain Mifune.
I like him. He has a great battle cry and death. Like, I
Yes,
wrote in
and
my
he-
notes,
yeah.
like, this is the stuff that desktop wallpapers are made of.
And he
'cause he's
was
cool.
the guy in Reloaded that met them
Was he?
at the dock.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for looking that up, Jake. Yeah, his
Wow,
his
that is-
death was badass. It was only sullied by the fact that that stupid kid was there doing the whole.
Kid, how did he
Neo,
not die,
Neo,
that piece of
I
shit?
believe.
I really think so. There was a point where I was like, oh, the kid is actually like kind of cool because he's like,
Nope.
look, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. Like, they're going to kill me the same as they're going to kill anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to help. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And then he's like, Neo, I believe in you. And I was like, right back to thinking you're a dork.
That's
Don't
it.
So
Exactly, like-
disappointing. It's disappointing
Yeah.
because he has one interaction with Neo in the two films in which Neo just brushes him off and says, "Not now, kid. I'm busy."
I am trying to get laid.
He idolizes Neo so much. Neo goes off and sacrifices himself to the baby face. And the kid takes it as, oh, Neo must have done it, runs around screeching until I want to throw him off that ledge.
Right, yeah. He like, the machine stopped moving and he immediately jumps to Neo did
And
it
everyone
and tells
believes him.
everybody. What
Yeah.
if Neo died? What if Neo died and Trinity saved everybody?
Yeah.
Like,
What if they're just going back to reload to like refuel?
Yeah.
They'll be bad.
Yeah.
like that was a huge jump. I think if that kid had died opening up the gate to let people
Oh, that
in,
would have been
I think
better.
that would have been a really strong ending for that character.
I agree. I mean, he's not
Or
he's
even
not a
if-
strong character. It would have been a better ending for the character.
Yeah.
If honestly he just hadn't said the stupid line before shooting the chain,
Neo, I
and
believe.
if maybe like while he was running around, he was just don't have him run around. Then I'd be like, good. He grew as a character. He was less annoying by the end of 3 than he was in 2. Good for him. Like even like I especially loved when Mifune was dying, and he's like, I never could finish the training program. He was like, neither did I. Like that's a
Aw.
great interaction.
Yeah. Also, something that gets kind of lost on that character, because there's never any indication of this that I could notice. There's literally only a line between these two characters where the captain is like, you know, it's like, you're a vat bred whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, what makes you think you can even defend this place? You know, and that's an interesting idea where you have this world where you have humans that were born outside of the Matrix
Yeah.
interacting with people born into it and rescued, like having that kind of conflict there.
Oh, that's
like,
interesting. I don't think the
Yeah.
movie
Like-
needs it, but that it's interesting to think about
No.
kind of in your spare time.
Yeah,
Right,
well, it's
and-
one of
and-
those things that it's like, yeah, I guess realistically there probably would be sort of a divide. So
Yeah. And I don't know if maybe, so there's an important context here that's sort of, that, you know, probably hasn't been brought up, is that there was also a lot of extended media stuff.
yes,
Like, I don't know if there was books, there probably was. I know there was the Animatrix, which is just a series of short
Yeah, there was a
animated
video game.
stories. Yeah, there's the video game. And so I feel like that line could have been a throwaway, put it in the scripts because we're going to write a story about it later.
yeah, and we've referenced the Animatrix in passing, but I haven't actually rewatched it in a while, so I don't remember if it comes up there. And then yeah, there was that we did mention last week that a lot of Niobe's background is actually from a game that I don't think any of us here have played. So
Yeah, because she's cool enough. I like that she kind of like does the cool pilot tricks. That's fun for her. That everyone says like, oh, no one could possibly do these cool pilot tricks.
I did appreciate there's definitely, you know, men being assholes to women, like in these stories a lot. But there was that other ship captain who was like, it's like, oh, you're going down a machine tunnel? Literally no one can do it. And Niobe says, I've done it before already. And he's kind of just doesn't believe her. And he's basically like, she's going to get us all killed, but whatever, like, I'm out of options.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, he's just like, God damn, she can drive.
And I appreciate too that they let Morpheus look concerned still, like, you know, yeah, he's one of our heroes, but he knows how crazy this is. He knows she can do it, but it's still a risk. You know, it's an enormous risk. So he's still sitting there looking like, oh fuck.
That actually brings up a really good point where I hated Morpheus in the second movie. he was so annoying to me. The whole time, you know, he's doing his whole like, oh, this is all fated, you know, we just have to trust in fate, just do whatever. Like, I felt like in most of the second movie, they had no idea what they were even doing. They were just like, well, we were told to be here, so we should go there. After the end of the second movie, where it's revealed that the One is not actually like a savior prophecy, it is a part of the system that they're trying to take down.
Yeah, he's the reboot button.
Is after that point, Morpheus is now like, his faith is broken. And in a lot of ways, I don't know if he ever really gets it back until maybe the very end, but it's like but regardless, he is more interactive with things happening around him. He can't just say like, oh, everything will be fine because I have faith. He's now like, if we screw up, we're all dead.
Yeah,
like,
faith,
there is no
faith
guarantee.
or not.
Yeah, it's like, there's no guarantee we're going to come out of this.
And a lot of people
I think
die.
that made him a much better character. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, under all the noise of the sequels, there are some interesting ideas and arcs and things. It's just unfortunately lost under a lot of noise.
But the noise, I think, is the movie. Like, people watch the Matrix movies for the amazing stunts and fight choreography, and like how each fight is different. Like, this one has the fighting on the ceilings, the fighting in the rain, which are distinct from any of the other fights we've seen so far.
Yeah, but it's just so overdone every time. Like the fighting in the rain, I thought, okay, when they did the thing where they punch each other and it causes a shockwave that pushes all the rain out and it's dry for a second, like that was cool the first time, and then they did it two more times. I'm like,
it's like
you can't do it. Come on,
it's like
guys.
They heard something about the rule of threes and didn't understand it was for comedy, not action.
Yeah, it's like it got that whole Smith fight in the rain just started feeling really tiresome.
I allow it because that score is banging.
Yeah, no, the music again is I've always thought the music was good. Like that holds up on its own. Even I own, they're probably saw them somewhere, but I had all 3 scores on CD and listened to them quite frequently.
So kind of talking about the end with the agents. Should we just talk about the Agent Smith stuff, or should we just talk only about the end right now? Like,
whatever you want, man.
What's at the top of your mind?
Oh, I get ruled. Oh, cool. Okay, so first off, Agent Smith basically become a virus, which is what he accused humans of being.
Yeah,
so,
I do love that happened. Like, oh, look at you, you're everything you ever hated.
I know, and the one that possesses Bane is like, everything stinks. Good fucking crap.
Right?
I didn't want the stink.
All in the second movie during the rave scene, all I could think of was him being like, the thing I hate most about it is the smell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Agent Smith is like, he's like this weird fusion of machine code and also like kind of humanity because of what Neo did to him. I don't know if there's like supposed to be like a meaning in there. But so he's just stealing everybody. He's just like copying himself onto everything. And at the very end, they're kind of like, you know, when Neo is talking to Deus Ex Machina, he's like, you know, the Smith program's out of control and you can't stop it. It's like, okay, I get that, but like there was never really an indication that was going on.
Right.
It felt like he should have been able to stop it at the very beginning if the machine wanted to. But but kind of regardless, throughout the whole movie, Smith has supposedly become this like unstoppable thing, and it's mostly by just kind of grabbing people here and there at random. And I feel like there's no real through line. Like when you get to the end and literally every single person in the Matrix is just a copy of, you know, Agent Smith. It's like, when did this happen? How did nothing, like the Matrix doesn't start to break down before that? There should have been some indication that Agent Smith was like ruining the Matrix.
The only minor hint of it is when like they reboot Niobe's ship and like they're like, hey, our Matrix display's fucked up, and they're like, no, that's what we're seeing too, and that's the extent of it.
That's interesting.
Right. And like at the very end, you know, and one of the reasons why I think about this is at the end, you know, he says, you know, it's like, look what it's like, do you like what I've done with the place? And what he did with the place was make it rain.
And there's a lot of him.
It might smell nice.
I think,
but like
all of the people in the Matrix are now Smith, which is
yeah
kind of fun.
But
I
like,
guess.
he also but he takes control of the programs, and he's like, when he takes over the Oracle, he gains her abilities.
Yeah.
So that means that I just kind of feel like, oh, the Matrix should literally be starting to get real bad. Something wrong should be happening. Even if it was just the weather, just it's the sun just is full bright and then it basically sets too early or something like that. Just things start to break down in the system, just so that you remember Smith is still there in the background while they're also trying to stop the machines from killing Zion.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at once that you can only focus on a couple of things.
But it makes it feel so thin. The ending for me is so disappointing, where, Neo just kind of is Neo just shows up.
Yeah.
In the Matrix walking down a street. They don't show him log in. They don't show him seeing everything for the first time. He's just there walking. And it was one of the most jarring cuts in the entire series, I think.
Yeah, I had suggested towards the end of last week that, I'd have to wait till this week to see, but you definitely could have trimmed some fat from both of these, turned them into a single better movie.
Could it be a TV series? Because then we can have some different focus characters and maybe care about Zion at all.
On the one hand, I want to say yes. On the other hand, I've seen what modern, show shit looks like, and I feel like there's a good chance they would fuck up the pacing.
Well,
they screwed up the pacing here too, so we can just pretend that they they it correctly. And I think that would be good.
Put Ron D. Moore in charge.
It would allow for more breadth to exist for some of these side stories. Yeah. We could have maybe gotten to know the captain a little better.
Yeah, it might. I guess
they could recast
the issue is
Z.
Realistically, they just couldn't have afforded to make it. Not without recasting the entire cast and really making the effects shit. It's The Matrix, the series, starring the guy from Mighty Ducks as Neo.
Well,
Josh
but just pretend. And they threw a lot of money at these movies, if I recall.
The movies, but it might have been harder to get them to do it for the show. No, yeah. I meant
I just want to imagine as ideal a scenario as opposed to, the Sci-Fi Channel presents Matrix the series.
Yeah, that, God.
Especially in the early 2000s.
Yeah. But
although that would be cool in its own.
You mean Emilio, don't you?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Could not think of his name. A cheesy sort of the Sci-Fi Channel presents Dune presents The Matrix would be kind of funny. That's what they should do. Instead of making more legacy sequels, they should make a low-budget, early 2000s Sci-Fi Channel style miniseries.
There you go.
Do a demake, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But
no, but it would be funny. It would be more fucking creative than most remakes these days.
Yeah. How long before they just fucking remake this shit? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know. Do the Wachowskis still...
Well,
do they control the IP?
What I heard was that sort of. I don't know how true this is, and I'm sure we'll talk about this next week when we talk about the fourth movie, but that part of the reason the fourth movie got made was that basically Warner Brothers, who owns the IP, was oh, well, we want to do a fourth Matrix film. And the Wachowskis were pass. And they're well, we're going to do it with or without you. So they're okay, fine.
Yeah, didn't only one of them sign on?
Yeah, I can't remember. Only one of them directed it, and I can't remember which. And
find out next week.
We'll find out next week. But yeah, so basically, the fourth movie was kind of made almost just in response to, we just don't want somebody else to do this. So they clearly have some sway in what happens with the IP. So
what they should have done was run into each other and become a giant super Wachowski to direct the fourth one.
Yes. Clearly, Station.
That kind of that reminds me, for no good reason, that apparently one of the original ideas for that Agent Smith fight was that they were all going to jump on each other and form one big gigantic...
Apparently that's in the video game.
And it is in the video game, including a part where when they've assembled together into a giant Agent Smith, they like pluck a pair of sunglasses off of a billboard.
Oh my god.
And put those on.
That's so
amazing.
silly.
Very silly.
I was watching a video of someone, like an edited down of them playing The Path of Neo, and it was pretty funny, but then they started talking about the fourth movie, which I haven't seen yet, so I had to switch it off. But once I have seen the fourth movie, I will go back and watch it, and I look forward to seeing Giant Smith. It's funny, because I remember thinking, the opposite. I had thought, oh man, it would be incredibly stupid, but also kind of funny if when Smith walked into the Oracle, there was also just a little Smith next to him. From the child.
No, because it would be the child. I mean, all children would have to be...
Well, that's the problem, is you then have to have a bunch of different sized Smiths.
Yeah, and just that would make us make sense.
For all of my issues with the Smith stuff, he's so corny, and I do kind of love it.
Oh, I love Smith.
He's living his best life.
Yeah,
Hugo Weaving committed to the script.
Yeah, he
sure.
brings this intensity. He has all the best fucking lines. The purpose of life is to end, and then he gets all these screen grabbable moments of him, the one where he's just in the sky flexing, and then there's lightning behind him. It's oh my god.
Which,
well, just
are you the hero?
If he was in control of the weather, that means one of the Agent Smiths that was the weather control guy was just waiting for an opportunity to have the lightning strike.
Yeah, right.
I do remember at the time, the one thing I did think was this was kind of the first big flying hero and villain type fight, in the era of modern special effects. Before that, the last Superman picture had been one of the really low-budget ones from the early 80s. So, that was... At the time, that was really cool. It's oh, man, it's almost like a superhero sky fight with money, which we've not had before now.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it is evident in the movie, but I found this note that reads, to help understand the mechanics and aesthetics of an airborne hand-to-hand brawl, the fight team shot test footage in that parabolic freefall aircraft thing they used to train astronauts.
Oh, the vomit comet?
Oh, that's cool.
It must have been. I assume that's the one they're talking about. So just to get a feeling on how people would move in freefall.
Nice.
That would be very cool footage to see.
Oh, yeah.
I have one last Smith note.
Yeah.
Before moving on.
More Smith notes.
which is just, I wrote down Incel Smith. Because he was just love! Only someone such a crappy species could invent love.
So when I was looking for stuff online the other day, I found out there was apparently a GE ad with Smith, and it was Hugo Weaving.
Oh, good for him.
And he's going through a hospital, and there's a bunch of hymns all over the place. And I'll try to dig it up again and share it to the page.
Oh, yay!
Because when I saw, it was a GE ad, Mr. Smith, Agent Smith ad. I was sure it's gonna be some look. Oh no, that is him.
Yeah, I saw some reviewers asking if Smith now has Oracle powers, does he know how this is gonna go? Does he know the future effectively? Because the Oracle typically knows. Is a seer who sees the future. But she's also said multiple times, she only sees what is most helpful for that person to see.
Yeah.
And
she has lied on multiple occasions.
Yeah. I will say she tells people what they need to hear, but I think she can see the future, but she said she can't see past a choice she doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know she admits to the architect that she didn't know what was going to happen with Neo.
Right, because she basically just kind of let this stuff happen. I liked that there was a version of that scene in the first movie where Neo knocks over
the vase. Would you have knocked it over if I hadn't told you?
They do that in this movie, but with the plate of cookies.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
When Smith throws him against the wall, and he's it's if you knew I was going to do that, then you knew you made the cookies for nothing.
Listen, he saved himself a little bit there. The child helped with those cookies, so it's full of child germs.
He is so annoyed by her, clearly, though, in that moment.
Yeah.
Was I the only one who was very distracted by how many times they brought up that the Oracle looks different?
Yeah, it's like, I get they had to, because, the original Oracle had, died during filming.
Yeah, died between, filming 2 and 3.
Yeah, so, they had to acknowledge it, but they could have just acknowledged it once and left it at that.
I'm not convinced they had to acknowledge it, because when you tell someone this is the Oracle, if you have to recast someone, the audience typically goes with it.
Yeah, I think maybe just, especially because of the nature of how quickly it came out, too, it's extra, I get why they decided they had to bring it up, but again, they should have brought it up once and moved on.
I also just think that, the choice to cast the replacement Oracle with basically that same, old, grandmotherly figure, which I guess maybe that's how the Oracle sees itself, but at the same time,
or wants to be seen.
Was programmed in the video game.
It looks like they were trying to pull don't notice that we recast the role by casting someone that basically looked very similar, or filled the same casting call assignment.
Yeah,
she could have been in the final round of the first movies.
Although she was a much worse actress than the original.
Really?
Yeah,
I did see somewhere.
I didn't like her as much.
I really liked the original Oracle, and it feels like Temu Oracle in this movie.
I guess I'm not done talking about Smith because there's a moment where Smith calls the Oracle mom.
Yeah, I had that in my notes. That caught me a little off guard.
I was giving you time to elucidate if you wanted to, so I wasn't dominating.
Oh no, sorry. I was wondering if you had. My only thought was wait, fucking what? And I've been kind of thinking about it since, but I've not really had any decent.
Yeah, does the Oracle kind of know everything because she was one of the first programmers?
I mean, they did say in the last picture that she was initially important to because it was there was something the architect kept fucking up and she was the one that fixed it.
Yeah.
I think was the idea, but yeah, Smith calling her mom implies a hell of a lot more involvement than just that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's kinky.
Right. Yeah, or was he was being sarcastic?
Or that, yeah.
But I couldn't really tell. And she is really, really important. So maybe, maybe she is in some way a spiritual mother to maybe all the programs even.
Yeah. But Ames, I think you had a thought earlier when we were talking about the Oracle.
The two women who played the Oracles once played sisters in a movie.
Oh, did they?
Oh.
That's funny. I wonder if that's why they cast her.
I think that's why they cast her.
That's probably why they cast her. But again, then why make it... If you're going to try to sneak a replacement actor in, why not sneak them in? Yeah, don't bring it up.
Bring attention.
Otherwise, cast somebody that looks completely different. Cast a young person. And then it would really be oh, I see. This is a new manifestation of the
way
Oracle.
that they kind of wrote it in is that the Merovingian punished her? Question marks? I don't understand the Merovingian scene in this movie at all. It felt superfluous.
No, it felt totally out of...
It's wait,
are you talking about this movie or the last movie?
This movie.
Oh, okay, because they were both confusing and superfluous.
Well, yeah.
This one was less horny.
This one had less, assault, so that's good.
It had less creepy sexual assault, but the setting... The club itself was far hornier than the restaurant. The club was,
yes, but there wasn't you didn't fly up a woman's vagina.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
That scene.
It definitely felt like that was supposed to be a new character, but then they decided they couldn't be asked to come up with a new one, so said, fuck it, make it the Merovingian again.
I was wondering in that scene, when they have that rave going on, are those humans or are those all programs?
We kind of got into that a little last week about how blurry the lines were getting.
Because in this one, they're all very deferential to the Merovingian, which makes me wonder if maybe they're actually all programs.
But the thing is, of course, in world, if you are just a human who doesn't know they're in the Matrix, he's the guy that runs this sex club you really like.
This is true.
So you're still going to be deferential to him because it's his place.
But like, I don't know. Like, I was wondering if what they were doing in that, with that section, was that they were showing that, like, here's a bunch of programs doing like a weird sex rave in the sequel to a movie where the humans were doing a weird sex rave. Yeah, as well as, you know, the scene at the beginning of the movie in the subway when you have two programs that apparently had a child. Yeah. And, you know, and are care about her. Although care is just a word.
There's a lot of, like, there's clearly a lot of stuff they're doing with 2 and 3 where they are, I think, intentionally trying to make it clear that, like, the demarcations are not as stark as either the audience or the machines or probably even the humans within the film would like to think. Yeah. You know, and I don't, you know, so that, like, the confusion might be sort of, you know, on purpose, but also, like, does it work for the audience? Like, do they appreciate it or they're just annoyed by it? And I think that's going to vary from viewer to viewer.
Yeah, like, I think personally that's kind of that would be an interesting thing to have explored maybe more properly. It feels like all the things I like about this movie are, like, underbaked.
Yeah.
I will say what I kept thinking, especially during this one, was if you want to see the slightly better version of this, go play Nier Automata.
Nier Automata is pretty good.
Okay, so good. You've actually played it. So for those who haven't played it, I brought it up briefly in the past during Blue activities and such, but it's the distant future. Humanity, or what's left of humanity, is living on the moon, while humanoid androids fight a war against robots built by aliens that are very more explicitly mechanical looking in an attempt to claim the Earth. And
they should just team up.
Well, believe me, there is all this question of, like, they're both just, why are they doing this? They're both mechanisms fighting on behalf of absent masters, and the whole thing is the mechanical...
It's also a little bit that episode of Voyager.
Yes, that too. But the more mechanical type robots are beginning to sort of try to be humanity, but it's a much more nascent version. Like, they act out human things without really understanding what they're doing. You know, they build little robot babies and have little robot family units, but they don't really understand it. They only have the it gets into a lot of the same ideas, but it does it more successfully, and there's some very good battle mechanics too.
Yeah, it helps that game can, like, you know, that game is, you know, extending these ideas out through gameplay even, but like, you know, for hours. So you know, it has time to slow burn explore them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where you would add additional, like, deepening of this world in these movies when there's already plenty going on that's already underbaked, like the whole plot in Zion and who are Morpheus and Niobe to each other. Were they lovers? I forget if that came up.
Yeah, they definitely had been. They said that was said in the last movie.
Got it.
That Niobe used to be with Morpheus, and then he went to the Oracle and turned into a nut job, and now she's with Locke.
Gross. But yeah, basically it sounds like you're just asking for just some other movie.
I'm just saying, like if you want a similar vibe, give that a shot. Yeah, I think with this, what it is like they recognize that they can't really flesh these things out, so they seed them so that you can maybe sit and talk about them. But I think the problem is, like, rather than wanting to sit and talk about them, you kind of just end up going, this just feels underbaked.
Yeah, who's this? Who's Z's new hot friend? Where did she come from?
Cared about her more than Z, I'll tell you that.
And where did Gina Torres go? Is she just cowering in the Citadel with the children?
I know I said this last week, but I really wish Gina Torres had been Z.
Oh, hardcore.
Yeah, that would.
I would have cared about that character.
A lot more, yeah. And that's the problem of seeing it in the retrospect of her having become more famous, is when she shows up, you're like, oh, Gina Torres, great, she's going to be in... Oh, wait, no, she's still kind of new. Fuck.
And, like, they also introduced a new character for Z to hang out with. The
captain of the hammer? Oh, what? Z to hang out with, the hot chick.
Yeah, the bazooka lady. That's what we're talking about. Saying that, like, I liked her more immediately.
Oh, yeah, but, like, I think it would have just been better if it was Gina Torres.
Yeah, that would have been fine. Although it would have really not made sense for her character as they'd established her, so I can kind of see why it was someone new.
But it didn't make a lot of sense for Z's character to be going on this little mission.
Listen, she tells us her motivation because she says, listen, I have to be here when Link gets back because we all care about Link, right?
I have to be here when Link gets back. Yeah.
By the end, I kind of was invested in Link.
I didn't give a shit about Link. I was mostly angry it wasn't Tank.
Fair.
Yeah, that's the thing. They recast the Oracle. Why didn't they just recast Tank?
Because your face wouldn't make sense to change in the real world, only in the Matrix.
Oh, they could just have it wear like a Phantom of the Opera mask and be like, there
was an accident.
Well, the thing that okay. Oh, actually, I want to bring that up. So in the first movie, Cypher shoots Link and
Tank.
Tank and Dozer.
Tank and Dozer.
Sorry, Tank and Dozer with that thing,
electro gun,
which I had assumed was just like a welder, like some piece of equipment that they used on the ship.
Something you still don't want to be shot with.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. But it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't want someone to hold an actual welding device to me in the real world either.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is the implication I got from the first film. Was this is a piece of industrial equipment that they just happened to have on the ship. It wasn't a weapon. It was being used as a weapon by Cypher. But in this movie, that gun is just a gun. That's just how they
their
shoot
primary
people.
rifle.
Wasn't that gun? No, this can't be right. I thought that for the longest time, I thought that prop was the same prop as the thing that sucked the tracking slug.
It looks a little
Neo.
Similar because it has a little screen on it and stuff. It looks similar.
Yeah. I just realized I have literally always thought that they were the same, but that doesn't make any sense.
I think I used to think that too, so you're in good company.
But yeah, I don't know. See, my problem with this movie and with the previous movies is just it's really hard for me to articulate what I think is wrong with it. I think what's wrong with it is that they took the first Matrix feels like a very self-contained kind of adventure action, but it's got some thinky stuff going on too, and then you get to these movies and they're just action schlock bullshit. And then this movie in particular, even more so than the second movie, tries to layer on this metaphor, this religious thing, literally having
the crucifix
Neo
moment.
up on the crucifix. And I'm just God fucking shit, fuck you.
Well, don't forget him walking on water as well.
Mm-hmm.
When he has the little electro ripples coming from his foot. There's all this really unsubtle. The thing that pissed me off is the name of the train station.
Mobile?
Is Mobile, spelled like the gas company, but I'm sure it's because it's an anagram of limbo.
Oh yeah, they were big into anagrams in the movie. Jake may not is saying he's seeing all the religious paraphernalia in the third movie, but it has been there since the first movie. There's a ton of it.
But it feels like this one. It's just so in your face. It's obnoxious.
Exactly, that's what it is.
It's for the people in the back who haven't been paying attention to be I get it.
Limbo, Club Hell. The Merovingian's a vampire now, apparently.
I hated that in the second movie where they tried to justify ghosts and werewolves by saying
and
that
aliens.
They were programs that were weird and that for some reason the idea of ghosts actually comes from these programs.
Yeah. Oh god, and Monica Bellucci's delivery in this one of "he's in love." It's you're usually a better actor. What happened?
What else is she in?
She was just better in the second picture. I've seen her in a Bond movie. She's a big actress.
She's got all of 4 lines in this movie. It's hard to even tell what she did.
Yeah, no. Again, that really feels like those were supposed to be different characters, but they said, fuck it, we already have these two.
Yeah.
The pointless, deal with the devil that doesn't end up having to happen.
Yeah, you wouldn't introduce new characters for a role that's all of 20 seconds, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's still... It felt weird. It felt like...
It is a weird scene.
Yeah, this feels not in his line, even though it technically is. It's hard to explain.
I do love that he's just like, we're gonna make a deal, mon chéri. And Trinity just points a gun at his head, and it's just like, I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah,
it just completely severs that potential plot line.
But it also it severs the plot line, and yet it is one of those expectations subverted things. But it also just makes that whole why is the Merovingian even in this? Like, what was the reason?
It definitely has that Ryan George feeling of super easy, barely an inconvenience. He just points a gun at her head.
He's from the other movie.
Yes. Get all the way off my back.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Train Man I loved. Train Man forever.
Yeah.
It should have just been a scene with figuring out what to do about the Train Man.
Yeah.
Did we need this club hell thing?
No.
But why was it ever explained why Neo was even in this train station?
His Wi-Fi needed to reboot.
So in the intro, Ames actually made a slightly incorrect analogy on what that train station is. But I can't remember, what did you say it was? Like
a coma.
Well, you said it was a connection between the real world and the Matrix.
Did I say that?
I think so.
I've already deleted my note page, so I don't remember.
Fine. Regardless, that place is a connection between the Matrix and the machine world. Like, it's weird. People couldn't see the face that was being made. My understanding of it is that when you see the orange stuff, the green code, that's all the Matrix. When you see the orange code, that's the quote unquote source. That is like where the machines are. The Matrix is this fake construct for human minds, but there's still a actual code and robot machine existence as well.
Yeah. And
this like limbo is the connection between those two. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have Kamala and Ramachandra trying to smuggle their daughter Sati out of the machine world into the Matrix.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's why that train station is a connection between those two.
But the thing is, so in the end of the last film, the end of 2, Neo uses the Force in the real world to
kill some sentinels,
and then has a seizure or something and collapses. And then in the start of this film, his body is in a coma in the real world, disconnected from the Matrix, not plugged into anything.
Even though when he wakes up, they unplug him.
Well, I think that was just not shown.
No, they show him. They show them unplugging him.
No, they show him. I don't think they show them plugging him in.
Oh, well, the assumption is they plugged him in.
The assumption is that they plug him in.
Why?
Because his consciousness is locked in the Matrix, in the Matrix.
I think we needed
world.
that scene.
I think we needed that scene because it's very unclear that whatever he did with the Sentinels, somehow he sucked his consciousness out of his physical human body and put it into code somewhere. So he downloaded wirelessly. He's got Wi-Fi. He downloaded wirelessly, and then to get him out of the Matrix, what they didn't show is him, like them plugging his limp corpse into the thing and then him downloading back out.
Yeah, no, it's like I said last week. Being the one means you switched on your Wi-Fi radio, and Ethernet's more stable than Wi-Fi, so that's how they re-uploaded him without it taking 3 hours.
When they,
it all tracks.
It does. What doesn't make sense is when the people on the ship figure out where his consciousness is.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Yeah,
because that seems like a guess by either Trinity or Morpheus to even we should go ask the Merovingian where he is or something.
Yeah.
Why would they ever think that?
Who's someone else from this movie that we've already...
Didn't Seraph mention
Maybe?
Because I think Seraph was like, oh, if the train man finds him and the Merovingian will know, and
that's
then
right. That's
gonna
right.
be real
Seraph
bad.
calls up, which I didn't know the programs could do. Seraph calls the ship on the phone to say, "Hey, I figured out how to call you guys now. We should have been doing this since the beginning."
Yeah. Not only that, like, why is it so hard for the Sentinels to find the human ships when they can just call and like find them that way?
You know, that was something they did in one of the earlier iterations, but humans eventually found a way to guard against it. It's called up. Hi, big scary. Other human here. Where are you? Let's meet up and have pizza.
I mean, in the first film, it was very important that they had to get to broadcast depth because they had to broadcast their pirate signal into the Matrix. That doesn't seem to be much of a concern anymore.
No, not at all.
Well, they do talk about it a lot.
Do they?
They do mention, like, well, because they were talking about, like, oh, we need to drop out of broadcast depth for whatever. And they were like, well, that might kill Neo if we do that. Okay,
fair. I must have missed that. I will say, though, for a film called The Matrix,
Revolutions,
we spend fucking barely any of this film in the Matrix. Like, it's the beginning with the Merovingian, and it's the end with the fight with
Oracle Smith.
Smithical.
Everything else in this movie is not involving the Matrix at all.
The thing is, and it's funny because, again, I just, it was kind of the same way with the first one. It just kind of worked better.
Well, no, with the first one, they're in the Matrix a lot, but they don't go in and out of the Matrix a lot. That's like two major missions.
No, you actually pointed out that they actually only go in a couple times. There's a lot of time spent in their little like mini Matrix training thing. But the Matrix proper, they only go into a couple of times.
Yeah, but they're there for a long time, right? Like
true.
They go to visit the whole movie starts in the Matrix, obviously, all of the Mr. Anderson stuff. And then they go back to the Matrix to visit the Oracle, and that's a pretty long in-Matrix sequence. And then the entire climax of the film, where they rescue Morpheus, is all in the Matrix. But, like, I don't know. I just found this movie very fucking stupid.
Yeah, if you consider 2 and 3 kind of one super long movie, structurally, I think it makes sense. Because, like, the stuff going on in the real world is really taking kind of front and center.
Yeah. You know what it is? It feels like, I think that's what it is. They fell into the 2-part Star Trek trap. Where, like, they had too much for one movie, but not enough for 2. And so you wound up with 2 slightly padded films that didn't quite gel.
Yeah, I'll concur with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So do any of you happen to know, like, how the directing worked on these? Because, like...
No idea.
They must have been filmed at essentially the exact same time, but I feel like there was, like, some pretty distinct directing differences between these 2 movies, the second and third one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they filmed them more or less back to back, if not in tandem. So
yeah, but like, did one of the siblings take more of a more active role in one versus the other or something?
Oh, that I don't know.
They do feel very different from each other.
So I can't speak to these specifically, but I know, like, for example, with Lord of the Rings, where, like, a lot of filming was done back to back, but then also pickup shots had to happen again and this and that. So there was a lot of overlap between post-production on one film and production on another and this and that. And I know, like, Jackson spoke to, especially, like, he felt that of all the films he did, like, the third one was kind of the most impacted, which is why that one he felt like needed the most work for the extended edition. And yeah, I kind of wonder, like you were saying, like maybe one of them was off dealing with the main directorial duties on 3, while the post-production on 2 was being handled, or something like that. They kind of traded off.
I also wonder if there's just like a lot of second unit shit going on here too, like where they had.
I'm willing to bet
the B team, like pretty much all the stuff in Zion in this film just feels completely superfluous to the plot. It's
I imagine the Wachowskis were not there every time they had to put poor Mifune's actor in that rig in front of a blue screen going, "Rah!"
Oh, but he looks so good doing it.
He does, but when you think about it, that man's main job was to stand in a room that was probably neon green.
Yep, I've seen the background, the backstage footage of it. It's pretty funny.
So there's just like a partially there rig, the rest is CG'd in later, and he just has to stand there screaming at tennis balls or something.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Battle of Zion, because that is the backdrop for the entire film. And we keep, like, there's plot happening on the various ships.
Mm-hmm.
And then every few minutes we switch back to Zion, where there's no plot happening. It's just action porn, just like literally firing useless munitions into like, I don't even know what you'd call it. A swarm is an understatement, right? It's a mass of machines.
It's a school.
It's like
a school.
It's like, you know,
this is calamari.
This is a very local reference, but our listeners are all just people we know, so they'll get it. It's like being on the B line during a Red Sox game. It's just a bunch of drunken Red Sox fans spilling out of Fenway Park.
But yeah, like just like the Smith fight, I felt like I saw so much of the same shit over and over and over and over again in the Battle of Zion that I was just like, it's not original anymore. Okay, we got the big drill pops through the ceiling and falls down dramatically, and it's like, oh god, that's horrible. And then it stands up and it's going to start doing some more drilling, and you're like, oh my god, I hope we can stop the drill. And then you're like, oh great, Z and Vasquez shot the thing and it fell over and it's great. And then another drill punches through the ceiling and we've seen this fucking thing already. It's the same fucking shit.
Now, there's a line at one point that I think it must be Locke, because I'm going to take a wild guess and say Locke, because that's how I know his name. And he requests half the infantry or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why not all of them? You're gonna die. You will actually die.
I was on his side almost every single time he was talking to, like, the world's most pointless council that probably makes Earth, like, it's like humanity deserves to die if these are the people that are in charge of it. They're like, it's like, no, we'll hide in the temple. It's like, okay, cool, that's a big cave. Are you gonna fit 10 million people in the big cave?
And what happens when the big drill drills in there?
And they were just like, no, we need half our infantry to stay behind to defend the temple. It's like,
why?
You're all dead anyway.
Yeah,
just
put all the infantry up there, and then, like, you can fall back if you need to, but
how many ships do they have? Because
Zero.
that EMP did a great job, and they were making
that was the other thing.
They were making a big deal about, you can't let Niobe take her ship away, and Captain Hammer take his ship and do something because we need them here.
There are
which
three
made
ships.
me assume they had other ships, but apparently they don't.
Supposedly
I thought they had. They said a number.
Yeah,
that wasn't 3.
But we see none of them at the battle.
They should be EMPing every 5 minutes.
Well, because that's the thing.
Why do they need a ship to do an EMP?
Well, because I was thinking about this, right?
Bring it to your hat.
They should absolutely have a break glass EMP in the dock because like that bought them a lot of time.
Yeah.
But the problem is once you fire that EMP, if you have more than one, that's going to take out all the other ones. Like the EMP would disable all the other EMPs. So you can really only use it once. But if it's on a ship, that's mobile. You could hide your ships, like, in
the garage,
in like cavalry, right? Like that's a thing that they do in wars is they have the cavalry kind of hiding off to the side, and then they flank encircle the enemy, which is kind of what Niobe did, but they only did it once. Do it 5 fucking times in a row. Every time those machines come, send another ship, EMP that shit.
Yeah.
The other fucking problem I have is the goddamn garage door. Okay, so Mouse 2.0.
Do not besmirch Mouse like that. Mouse was great.
Well, yeah, Timu Mouse.
Rat.
Uh,
Rat boy.
There we go.
He saves the day in the end by shooting a chain,
Yep.
which causes like a counterweight to fall away or something, and it causes the door to open. And my thinking is, if you're designing a defensive gate, would you design it so that the failure mode when the chain breaks is it
open?
opens? It's for defense. You want it to fail closed.
That's true. Shooting the chain should
Because
close
if the machines like had lined up their army outside the gate, they just needed to get one machine.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, Bane inside inside of Zion, and they just blow up the chain and the doors open and no one can stop them. You don't even need the drills. Just go in the door.
Yeah.
I also don't understand the physics of removing the counterweight causes the door to open sideways. Like, you can imagine an elevator, right? You cut the counterweight on an elevator, they're both falling.
Yeah.
Because they're holding each other up in a way. But those doors were sideways, so they would have just stayed closed if you shot the counterweight.
Maybe they had like some kind of a spring system. No, we saw it. They didn't have a spring system. It's stupid.
Maybe, who knows?
They had a
Maybe,
chain system.
They made a rudimentary lathe.
Yeah, it was stupid, and I hated it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many little details that just they keep taking you out of what's happening, and it makes something that would be hard to care about even just harder over and over.
Yeah,
and over.
like you bring up our tribunal friends who are a bunch of assholes, and I started thinking because most of what they're arguing about is how to translate someone else's oracle vision. And if that's what the tribunal is for, then they are the most pointless group of human beings that there is.
I was kind of surprised at how active the Oracle apparently is. Like,
she talks to everybody.
She talks to like every last person.
Except the ones that can't enter the Matrix. They're left to hate them.
Speaking of the council, you must have mentioned this last weekend. That main counselor, the one who's like
Admiral Doherty?
is very... Yeah, Emperor Palpatine, like.
Yeah.
Who you keep expecting to be evil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
He's just a Vulcan, right? He looks exactly like a Vulcan.
Well, so we said he was the bad admiral in Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Picture him with a goatee, and that's him.
The actor played the same.
Yeah, but no, he was a human, Admiral Doherty. Doherty, I don't remember how they pronounce it.
He's the most Vulcan-looking actor I think I've ever seen.
Sadly, never played a Vulcan, as far as I know.
Boo.
Although we did, this hasn't gone live yet, but I want to bring it up again.
It'll have gone live by the time the people listening hear this, Chris.
Yes, but
you don't have to make this caveat.
James is going to be confused. It's for James.
Look, I can follow the track of conversation.
Fair.
Don't worry, I'll be good.
The reson I brought up Lawrence Luckenbill earlier is because it turns out he's their uncle. The Wachowski.
The Wachowski's uncle is Sybok.
Oh, but I thought you just liked bringing. I had forgotten that too, and I was here last week. I just know how much you love bringing up Lawrence Luckenbill. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've literally seen him in one thing, but I love him in it. I should probably see more of his stuff.
So, the elephant, I think, in the room is that Neo.
Sorry, now I'm just picturing an elephant in a black suit with sunglasses saying Mr. Anderson. Go on.
Oh yeah, did Smith infect all the animals too? Did every animal turn into Smith?
You guys are stupid.
I hope so.
You guys are annoying.
I mean, I didn't see any animals in the last scene. I'm just guessing some of them were
Actually,
Smiths.
I assume he can only assimilate something that actually has a brain, and presumably all the animals are just programs. Well, but he took all the programs.
He can
he assimilated programs.
And there was that Smith that was just chowing down on cheese while watching the fight, so...
Oh, and actually the little girl was just a program, so... And the oracles are... Anyway, sorry, I got you off course. I apologize.
Yeah, so I would say the elephant in the room, to me, is Neo is fucking magic in the real world.
Yeah.
Like that,
yeah. He's way buffed, like too buffed.
But not just that, just it defies the logic of the world that he's magic.
That he can like see his aura shit. And
that he can see
shoot
that he can
sentinels with his
see
hands.
the source after Smith melts his face off somehow. Like it wasn't like the prosthetic makeup on blind Neo was not great.
It changed scene by scene.
But whatever. He's rendered completely blind, but he can still see the source, which makes zero sense unless he does actually have Wi-Fi. But at that point, how?
Leftover gubbins in his body from the Matrix pod?
It really lends a lot of credence to the...
This is also a program?
This is, we're just in another layer theory.
That's what I thought. And I was very upset that wound up not being the case. Because that was my theory watching originally like 20 years ago. It was like, oh, obviously this quote unquote real world is also a fake designed to like... basically designed to trap people who couldn't live in like the idyllic.
Yeah, that would be a lot. Like if that were the
Matrix.
end of this, and that was just like the additional twist was you thought you escaped your pod prison, but it turns out it's pod prisons all the way down.
Yeah, it's like we just gave you a prison you were willing to accept, and it turns out that you really wanted a crappy prison instead of 1999 where you can be a barista and own a house.
Yeah, exactly. Like. I mean, and has it ever been confirmed that wasn't the case, other than the fact that they didn't come out and say it in the film?
I think there are a lot of people who've theorized this, and I forget if it comes up in the next movie. So I'm not gonna theorize too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely.
Now, granted, it also means it wasn't something they were planning at the time.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, like, and again, having not seen the fourth film and not knowing if it's addressed, it is definitely something people have argued about since the third movie came out. So
it's the only thing that makes sense unless the script is just that bad.
It could just be
basically.
That bad. We all watched the same movie.
Yeah, I enjoy these movies, which is unusual for me to be the one enjoying something. For the sheer spectacle of it.
Like that part I had fun with.
Yeah,
like,
it is a good
I absolutely do agree.
And again, we didn't, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the chap that played Bane and his fucking bang on Hugo.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Batman.
Yeah, I remember, and I forget if I said this last week, but I'll sum it up in all three, because the first movie, the impressions that I walk away from the film were all of them. Like, every single thing is memorable because the whole movie is fucking gold.
Yeah.
The second movie, the thing that lingers in my brain is Neo and Trinity fucking in a pizza oven. And that stuck with me forever for some reason. It was the only thing I could remember from that movie.
It's very upsetting. The
thing I remembered, years after watching this movie, and the one scene that I think is the big takeaway moment for me, is Trinity seeing the sky. And I love that reaction from Carrie-Anne Moss so much. It's so subtle and beautiful when she just sees the sky. Neo can't see anything. It's just her. It's just a moment for her. And the next thing she does is die.
Yeah.
That crash, like going into that crash knowing that she dies, like they do actually show, like they show the spikes that go through her.
Yeah, I caught them
and
this
like
time.
it makes it so much more brutal, like seeing that happen.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
And I gotta agree, Ames, one of the only things I really did remember from this was that.
Yeah, because
that is very effective.
Yeah, because it's the opposite of every other visual you see in these films, because it is a beautiful, bright scene, which you see nowhere else in these movies.
Yeah.
For me, and we'll get back to what you're talking about, not blowing through it, but like for me, the scene that I remember most is Hugo Weaving laughing when he takes over the Oracle.
Yeah, that is a great laugh.
He's so good in these.
And just the horribly creepy smile.
Yeah.
But I do also specifically remember that seeing the sky for the first time scene because it made me very upset. Not because I enjoyed it, because I was like, wait, okay, so humanity blocked out the sun. Why don't the machines just build bigger towers and set up solar panels?
You're not meant to think about that. No, shush.
That's what I thought about this time was like, and maybe this is the point, is like, the machines have become so obsessed with their order and control and the system they've set up that, guys, it has been, as we discovered in the last film, that, in the first movie, we're like, we think it's been maybe about 100 years. But that's because they don't realize that they're on their, sixth the one. So it's actually been, between 600 and 700 years. And in no point during these centuries did the machines decide to dedicate any effort to maybe trying to unfuck the sky, which would have solved the problem. Then they could have just not had to breed humans to be batteries for them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They could... I think it's the point is the machines just are sadistic and they love torturing humans. Maybe
the sky is like the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool and it just won't turn green. No, won't unturn green.
Yes.
But yeah, and again, I think, that might tie into that whole idea of, they're just more human than they realize and would like to admit, and at this point are fueled by spite and vengeance and...
Ditto.
All this other stuff instead of being logical, which is what they think they are, because, we're machines. I'm the architect. I own a thesaurus.
I'm a machine. I accidentally made werewolves, and now they live in a programmed sex hotel.
What a fucking strange inclusion. It still bothers me that they mentioned that, because it's unnecessary.
It really just feels like an excuse to be like, we made 2 albino ghosts.
Here's the thing. If you just introduced albino ghosts...
We would just say they're a cool program you guys built.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't need
The agents already have cool powers. Come on.
Yeah. The only question becomes, why can't they all do that? It would make the agents' lives a lot easier.
I want to know why the ghosts died in a car explosion.
They forgot to go incorporeal,
I guess.
Did they die, or did they just kind of...
They're not here. They're not in the Merovingian
hubris. The answer is hubris.
There we go. So,
I could see the Merovingian killing them for failing, but...
I imagine, too... So, I wonder if part of what drove Smith insane, right? Neo kills him.
He starts smelling shit.
He's unkilled. Because presumably, for the first movie to make any sense in relation to the sequels... The agents have to not know that Neo is the 6th the one either. Because the whole big thing that Johnny Architect and his fucking thesaurus says is every time we hit this point and we invade the city and we kill everyone and blah, 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 blah. Whereas in the first film, Smith's whole thing was, I need the codes to get into Zion so I can get out of the Matrix. And it's so you don't know what the actual scheme is here, do you? I think finding out, getting killed helps him find out the truth, and that's part of the reason he goes insane and hates the machines as much as humans.
I thought that he just he just wanted to be turned off.
He did, but he
wants to take everyone down with him.
Yeah, but in the first one, his whole thing is just he says specifically, I need those codes, while squishing Morpheus's head. Because that's what they need to kill the humans, as far as he knows, and to allow him to stop existing in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, that only makes sense in retrospect, is if he also doesn't know the truth of this whole multi-one bullshit.
Well, it also means that, the whole, if Morpheus had broken...
Yeah.
Then the whole, and the machines were able to go and destroy Zion... then none of this would have happened, right? The architect's whole plan would have been foiled because Neo would have just been killed in the war, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, it only works if this is probably what people would say, and is, I guess, what the movie is strongly implying, is that the Oracle already knew that Neo was going to save Morpheus before he broke.
I think what the movie is implying is that they came up with this bullshit sometime after they wrote 1 and before they wrote 2, and did not think of the implications of the sequels on the original.
They did not expect people to be doing a podcast however many years later, dissecting every moment.
I'm pretty sure people were dissecting this shit at the time, too, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had to have known that this was going to happen. But, so... The Matrix trilogy.
Yeah, one more little thing that I don't know why I only really started noticing it this movie and less so the others. Maybe because suddenly we have like 3 different ships worth of freed humans running around.
Yeah.
Is that every single one of them is wearing the same frayed sweater.
Yeah.
In slightly different colors, as if they have a uniform code.
Well, I was starting to think that the captain's uniform is the red sweater, because
that seems to be the implication.
Morpheus, Niobe, and the other guy all wore red sweaters.
If that's what they decided, I don't like it, because that seems absolutely unnecessary.
And the thing is, everyone wearing the same shitty sackcloth in the first film, you're like, yeah, no, they're kind of a worn down, ragtag, what's left of humanity society. But then the infantry have these really nice, like, maroon vests
because
that
then
are
you
really
start
well
seeing
made.
The rest of society, and there is enough people to make other types of cloth.
Yeah, like, everyone in the city has nice clothes. Why do the sailors get garbage?
I don't know. It took me out of it.
How many people, going off the first movie, how many people did you think was in Zion in the first movie?
A
few thousand,
couple hundred
maybe?
at most.
I don't know if I ever thought how big it might be.
I thought maybe a few thousand.
Yeah.
I thought it was like they
Not
were
a lot.
almost as underground as everyone else.
Yeah.
And then going and seeing like
There's a fuck ton of people.
10 million? How many was it? They said they sent 1 machine for every man.
Yeah, something.
It's like for every person in Zion, and it was like 10 or 20 million.
Yeah, it was a huge number.
That is outrageous.
Yeah, where are you growing all your food?
Well, do you see how fucking big it is? It goes down. It's like a vertical city. It goes down.
I know, but like, what? They must be eating a lot of tubers or something.
Or just bugs.
Well, no, they have the porridge that.
Yeah, but it's made of something.
Movie. Yeah, well, it's made out of protein. Or
there was.
So
I did like. You do briefly see a poster for Tasty Wheat in the Matrix at some point, by the way.
Mm.
And a billboard for Powerade, because product placement.
I'm just thinking now on that, like, that gigantic shaft where, like, there's like a middle center, connector for all of this. So the humans thought they had only been around for 100 years, and they somehow built this.
It was leftover from before the war. It was an old missile silo where Zephyr Cochrane was building the
gigantic
first
10 million population sustaining missile silo that's literally like 5 or 6 miles under the earth.
James, look at what people believe in our real world. People are stupid.
I know. Zion should have been 10,000 people at most, and that would have seemed like way too much.
That would have seemed excessive even. Yeah, no, I agree with you on the count. It doesn't make sense. Also, a thing they kind of brought attention to that they probably shouldn't have. When the guy was like, I don't believe you're 18 or whatever. I believe he's 25. What are you talking about?
He looks so old. Yeah, when he's like introduces the kid. And it's like, this kid, he's about to get his like master's.
Yeah, and we're supposed to believe he's lying about being 16. And like, oh, come on. I know Hollywood age casting and all that, but Jesus, don't bring it up.
Yeah, kind of stupid.
Yeah, because that was mainly because that kid is so poorly developed, and it's all stuff that you're like meant to, I don't know, they tell it to you. You're never shown what this kid's deal is, that I don't give any shits about this fucking kid.
Not at all.
Like, and that goes for like, as much as I like the captain and like things like that, like all of the characters that are introduced in these 2 movies, I really have a very hard time finding the ability to care about them.
Yeah.
And that's a really stark comparison to the first movie where like when Switch dies.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer.
It's such a deep death, a deep cut death.
Yeah, it's like it's so well acted and like
not like this, not like this.
How many lines did that character have? It's like, but she's like instantly recognizable. Like I remember her name. Like I hate the fact that she's not around.
Yeah,
because I wanted to get to know her more.
Whereas
and like
I had to be reminded Mifune was in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that moment that was again one of those things that's just, even as a kid first watching the movie, I was like, holy shit. That sucks for them.
Like just that like despair and just being like, you know, the kind of self-hatred where she's, you know, it's like just knowing she's going to die in like this incredibly undignified way. And like how much that's hurting her.
Yeah.
And like, God.
And what a rat bastard Cypher is.
Fucking Cypher.
I know. And the worst part about all of that is it makes it very hard when I'm like talking to Kelly, because I'm like, you know what, I'd want to stay in the Matrix. I just don't want to do it the way Cypher did it, because that was really bad.
Yeah, like minus the betraying his friends. Like, no, I get it.
No, yeah, like in the first movie, like you understand Cypher's deal very well.
Yeah.
You understand all the characters' deal well enough. Even Mouse, my favorite.
Yeah, like all of those characters just, they feel so much more fleshed out, so much more interesting.
I forgot Link was in this one, because there was a moment of like video game break of watching him and whoever else was like shooting guns off of the hammer.
Oh, yeah. And even that was done in such an uninteresting way. It's like, Jesus Christ, Star Wars did this better back in 1977.
I thought the EMP was the only defense they had against the machines, but they now also have like gun turrets on the ships.
Different ship. Maybe just Morpheus
different ship. Morpheus didn't rate high enough to get a ship with guns.
They did try to imply that there are different classes, because Niobe's seem to be smaller than the Hammer.
Oh yeah, she says, wow, this thing's got an ass on it.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Hammer class ship named the Mjolnir.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, maybe like Morpheus is meant to be more of like a, you know, quick in and out to broadcast level. Like it's more of a spy vessel than a war vessel. I don't know.
The Machine City, aside from the fact that why would the machines have a city? They have the whole fucking planet. But regardless of that, you know what it reminded me of a lot was the anybody ever play the Horizon games and the cauldrons, like the machine factories that you visit at
There's
various
definitely
points.
Some vibe there, yeah. Those are good games that I'm very bad at.
I love those games. I should replay. I don't think I ever finished the second one. I should go back to that.
It's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to the third one, hoping they stick the landing. Unlike this.
Yeah, well, but is this the landing?
It was for 20 years-ish. Not 20. Yeah. How long did it take before 4 came out?
What was that, 2020?
I think so. So what, 17 years maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, 17, 16 years. Yeah, I still don't know what I think of releasing this 6 months after the first one. Like, is that good or bad for you to, like, pick up right where you left off 6 months later, or do audiences want a little bit of time?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think 6 months is maybe about as far out as I would have wanted. Like, because, like, imagine waiting for this. I was, like, really annoyed at the end of the second movie. I don't know if I would have bothered to see the third movie in theaters if it hadn't come out, 6 months later.
This was actually something I meant to say last week and forgot, and is that even though I wound up, again, kind of more on side with it than I had started, like one issue it does have, the second one, is that it's not a complete film.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, you have other films that are second parts of trilogies that end on cliffhangers or end without everything resolved, but still have their own, beginning, proper climax and falling action.
Yeah,
like
Neo stuck in carbonite somewhere.
Yeah, like Empire Strikes Back does end on a cliffhanger, but is still its own complete picture. Two Towers, again, its own complete picture, but the story's not resolved yet, and we end with like a very big cliffhanger-y thing. This has sort of rising action, big fight, but not really a proper climax or falling action per se. Like, you have to just... It's not over. It ends on a cliffhanger in an unsatisfying way, than instead of on a cliffhanger in a satisfying way. So yeah, I think having it quickly was probably for the best.
Yeah, I just wonder if maybe it would have, if they had had more time, they would have allowed to have more of a marketing push. Because, if someone like Jake didn't bother seeing the third movie in theaters, if maybe more time was needed to build it up again.
It's hard to say, like, Or would it just given him 3 years to be like, or 2 years or whatever, to be like...
To forget it entirely.
And just, when they start the push again, he could be like, oh, God, no, fucking the second one was terrible. And I kind of wonder, too, like, was that something the Wachowskis wanted or something the studio wanted, too? Because that's a whole other angle to it.
I guess I'm trying to think, like, what from the second movie is even important to the third movie? Because, like, all I can really think of is the machines are going to destroy Zion, and this is all part of a plan.
Well, I think the Smith...
The one is part of a plan.
Smith has new powers and is becoming a menace. You need set up.
Oh. Yeah, but that could have very easily been condensed into this film, honestly. Like the whole Merovingian everything was completely pointless.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly kind of feel like between these two movies, you could have really just dealt with the Agent Smith thing and the machine attack thing, and just have those be two concurrent things that are happening. And you would also be able to kind of play with the idea that, like, as Zion is about to be destroyed, the Matrix is also about to be destroyed. Like, and that is a much more existential threat, because if Zion dies, like, humans are at least still existing. They're just in 1999 where a barista can own a house. Like, I mean, that's not the end of the world. Whereas if the whole system falls apart, that is the end of the world. So you could tie them together. And ultimately the solution is, finding a way to work those conflicts against each other to find a way to survive.
And I agree with that. And I think that that's kind of what they were trying to do with this movie, right? Because in the end, the detente that they achieve is that, well, we're going to let the Matrix, we're going to stop fighting the Matrix, and we're going to have the machine stop fighting the humans, because there's Smith is an existential threat to everybody, because if Smith takes out the Matrix, everybody dies. And yes.
Yeah, ceasefire. The Sentinels opened up the Strait of Hormuz. But frankly, the fact that whole negotiation just happens between Neo and Babyface in the span of a 2-second conversation, and that's the entire linchpin of the film.
Yeah, and they don't really, I think, have enough decent parallel between the fact that both worlds are being threatened at once.
Yeah. And why aren't the other humans involved at all? Why is it all Neo?
Oh, because he's the chosen one, of course.
He can fight Smith, that's fine, but have somebody else there to...
Trinity was there for a little while.
Trinity was dead.
But she started off there.
It was, again, just down to the fact that they didn't show the gradual crumbling of the Matrix. It was just we were there, we leave for a while, we come back, and it's Smithville.
I want to live there.
What happened to everybody that Smith replaced? Did they all get restored? I know the programs... we saw the little girl and the Oracle and the architect come back, but what about all the humans? Are they just dead?
Do we even see any humans in that ending scene at the park?
No, we only see the three.
It's maybe all the humans are dead.
I think the humans are dead. I think they got Smith, and that was it.
Architect said something to the effect of, we're going to redo it, but we're going to actually give people choice.
Yeah.
So is it just that they're in the middle of deciding which humans to even bring in?
I guess, maybe the implication is that, they were able to restore the people, but they couldn't, erase what had happened with Smith and all that, so the cat's out of the bag, but they're willing to let people, look, here's the deal. You're in a simulation. Here's a picture of the real world in your terrible sex rave city. Where would you like to live?
Or do you want the steak that Cypher got?
I mean, this goes back to kind of what we were talking about either last week or the week before, that we don't know how old, people could have just been rebooted in the Matrix, the deja vu thing. They could just deja vu everybody, change everybody's memories of everything, and move them into different careers or different whatever.
Sounds like Dark City, Jake.
Yeah, that's Dark City.
Well, Dark City's a better version of this.
Yeah, Yeah. Also, apparently the small child controls the sky now. That's upsetting.
I don't know. I was fine with that. She's a weird natural born program that can make a sunset.
Well, not just that, though. She also took off the green haze in the Matrix.
That's true.
Good point.
She brought color to the Matrix.
So we have to throw her in the reflecting pool.
Do you think that when they got rid of Smith and rebooted the Matrix, do you think they finally got rid of the Merovingian?
I hope so.
I mean, at some point, the Merovingian was probably also Smith, I'm guessing. So,
no, he was.
Well, yeah, no, he would have been
over
Smith.
by one of the Smiths at the end.
Like,
he would have
everybody.
Smith.
If
everyone
Smith was
Smiths.
literally everybody in the Matrix, then
was there anyone who was hidden away? Persephone is Smith.
The Merovingian would be one who would maybe do it, but
how would they get the architect?
Well, he wasn't in the Matrix. He was in that.
He was in that special house with no doors.
Yeah.
One last thing about this was in my notes, and I forgot to mention it in a timely manner, so I'm just saying it now. I want to see the Merovingian's actor, I don't know his real name, and Christoph Waltz in a thing together, having a creepy European guy smarm off.
that's a fair thing to want.
Why is he not on the first page of IMDb actors? I don't want to find him.
Which one?
The Merovingian.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, since we don't see him at any other point, I assume he survives.
No, I'm going to assume he's dead, because fuck that guy. Weirdo. I don't like him. I mean, that's the point, but I think they did a good job of making a character you enjoy not liking.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy the performance a lot.
Yeah, no, that guy's great. Like, again, the European creepy guy smarm is amazing.
Lambert Wilson is his name.
The performance is as good as it could be, but I dislike the character, but I also, like, not even from he's so bad you love to hate him. I just think he's bad and it's bad writing and I don't like him.
Fair.
But I think he does the best he can with what I consider bad writing.
Yeah, I think it is smarmy, go for broke acting. So I'm a fan of him.
Everyone who just embraces the go for broke, him and Smith, you know. Anyway, Jake has tried to jake us out a couple times now.
If I may, there might be one segue that can help us like end this, and it's like Morpheus's last line in the whole movie. He's with Niobe and he says, "Is this real?" Like, you know, it's like kind of coming full circle on this character who introduces the fact that the world is not real and has this faith that, like, you know, about freedom and the reality of it, and then loses that faith, and then by the end, you know, he's still questioning but hopeful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this podcast real?
You think that's podcasting you're listening to?
You have to remember, there is no podcast.
I'm trying to do the end credit music and I can't. Jake, stop us, please.
Why is Jake jaking us out?
Yeah, why am I jaking us out?
Oh, yeah, no, I've been doing this, haven't I?
You jake us out now.
Oh, my God, this has been entirely my fault.
Yeah, since it's...
We've been trying to leave for half an hour. Save us.
It's entirely Caitlin's fault, because it means none of us knows whose job it is to take us out, because she's not here to do it.
Well, you used a segue voice earlier, so I was like, oh, yes, Jake, of course.
I was segueing to the exit. I wasn't going to take us out the door.
Fuck, well, this has been A Star to Steer Her By. Thank you all for joining us as we discussed The Matrix trilogy, what maybe should have been the end but wasn't. So next week, we will be looking at The Matrix Resurrections, which I've not seen, so it's going to be interesting. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Blue Sky, SoundCloud. We are A Star to Steer Her By and SSHB Podcast. We're on Tumblr, where there are blogs, mostly about Star Trek. Yeah. James, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
It was.
Yeah, don't be a stranger, James.
Yes.
I didn't mean to be.
Well, now we'll have you around a bunch for Picard, maybe. Ooh.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
This is Jake.
I'm James.
Guys, was this real? Is this real? No.
So next week, we will be looking at... Fuck, what's it called?
Resurrections.
Thank you. Sorry, Christ. The Matrix...